Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Texans have traded for Ed Ingram, guard from the Minnesota Vikings. The Texans are sending a 2026 sixth-round pick in order to get this deal done with the Vikings. This is a solid addition for the Texans. Ingram last year, and mostly in his career, has struggled in his first three seasons when it comes to pass protection, and that's been a really bad part of his, blocking game, which is not something you want to see with what happened to C.J. Stroud last season. But a guy like Ed Ingram, a lot better than what the Houston Texans have at this right guard position right now, with having, Shaq Mason, who was released but was terrible last season, just as bad as Ingram was, if not worse. And then you have a guy in like Nick Broker, who's the projected starter at right guard right now, with Mason released. That's not much of a good option either. So the Texans aren't in a really good position in right guard right now anyways. And so he can come in and play the right guard. Left guard's supposed to be Laken Tomlinson, who the Texans signed, and he's a guy that's been in the NFL since 2015, and it's a really good addition for this Texans team. Titus Howard's going to be at left tackle, and he's going to be replacing Tunsil at left tackle. Center should be Jarrett Patterson, I would think, and then right guard possibly could be Ed Ingram. I don't know. I think it just depends on what the Texans do in the draft with this offensive line. It's very well possible the Texans at some point in the draft could draft a right guard in the draft, and Ingram can just be a backup offensive lineman next season. Could be a backup left guard and right guard, because he's played at both guard positions in his career, and you definitely don't want to have someone who's a poor pass blocker, a pass protector in the offensive lineman, the offensive lineman lineup, in the front five. So, You don't want that, especially with what happened to C.J. Stroud last season. I think he's probably better than Shaq Mason with how horrendous Shaq Mason was last year. But I think the priority for the Texans is probably drafting a guard that can come in and be a right guard for this Texans team at some point in the draft this year, and maybe Ingram can be a backup for this Texans team. But we'll see. Texans do give up a sixth-round pick in order for this trade to happen. Let me know your thoughts on the trade for the Texans in the comment section, and peace out.